evening we're coming to you from Elmira, New York, and we are really very, very honored and privileged to be able to be in the living room and the seminar room of one of the very most significant individuals on planet Earth that have had experiences with an altered state of consciousness, Miss Jane Roberts, who, along with her husband, Robert Butts, have been investigating over these past 10-odd years, if I'm correct. I'm not exactly sure, but approximately 10 years. Another state of consciousness than which we are normally accustomed to dealing with. I'd like to welcome you very, very much to the program, and I thank you very much for inviting me here to be able to talk to you. I wonder, perhaps, whoever, I'm not sure which one of you might like to pick up on it first, but there will be some people in the audience, believe it or not, although it's a pretty aware audience that watches this program, but there will be some people in the audience who aren't aware of the material, the Seth Material. Could you maybe just give us a little bit of a background for the general audience of the means by which, in a general way, you came in contact with kind of consciousness and how it all got started?
Bob?
This began late in 1963. One evening, Jane was writing poetry after supper, as is her usual custom, and she went into an altered state of consciousness that was very unexpected by her. And she had an out-of-body experience. She found her consciousness leaving her body. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, she began to write in sort of an automatic script. Now, this experience lasted for over half an hour. And when Jane returned to her usual state of consciousness, she discovered that she produced this script called The Universe is Idea Construction.
This is in one evening?
In one evening, after supper. Mm-hmm. I was painting in my studio, and she was sitting out here. And I thought it was awfully quiet out here. Mm-hmm. And so I finally came out to see what she was so quiet about.
Yes.
And it was just at the end of this experience. She wasn't even able to use her voice to call me, to tell me what was going on.
Good heavens. Had anything like that happened to you before?
No, and actually it lasted a lot longer. It was well over an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, I just, I've been a poet since I was a child, and writing. And the next thing I knew, my consciousness was just gone. And it wasn't in out of body in the respect that I had another body, or thought I did. My consciousness through like the window, and then into the leaves, and into everything. And it wasn't until I came back that I found this script and realized that, I had to have written it.
Yeah. When you came back and you were in, you weren't. There's two separate planes. You weren't aware of the other as you were.
I wasn't aware of my body at all, or the manuscript, or writing, or anything. I was completely.
What did you think?
Gone. When I was doing it, or after?
Oh, after. We get to what you were thinking
the first thing I did was call for Ron, and I saw the script, and I started reading it like mad. But the thing of it was that the stuff that was in the script was stuff I had felt while I was out, to some extent, in that the script, again, the title was The Physical Universe as Idea Construction, the idea being that everything is a result of idea and has consciousness. But when I was out, I would go in atoms and molecules, and I felt their consciousness.
Wow.
But then when I read the script, it was terribly hard to accept portions of it because it pretty much went against what I've been taught.
But I mean, just having experienced that, I mean, what was your reaction to it?
Wild. I had done no reading in this field. I had done nothing. So as far as I knew, this had never happened before to another individual.
It was something
any
more
place.
than super
It was, where did I go? How did I get out of my body? This is fantastic.
Then I would presume that on the trail of that, you probably began to Let's see, did you begin to investigate this field?
Yeah, then,
Edgar
right.
Casey, who had experiences similar, or did you begin to investigate the
Well,
field then?
I was a writer.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
so I had just finished my first science fiction novel, which was a paperback, called The Rebellers, and I was looking for something else to write. And Robbie came up with the idea, joking. He said, "Why don't you do a book? This must have something to do with ESP or something.
Right.
So why don't you get some books, read up on it, try some experiments, and if they don't work, you can always say that, well, I tried all this stuff, and it just doesn't work. And if it works, well, who knows?
Yeah.
So we started out, we got 2 or 3 paperbacks. We found out about Ouija boards and everything. And we borrowed a Ouija board. We didn't even buy one. And after, I forget, once or twice or something, we started to get stuff on the board. And with the psychological knowledge I had then, the first thing I thought of was, well, it's the subconscious. Rob was pushing it, or Rob would say I was pushing it. So we went through that long kind of thing. And after only maybe 5 or 6, 7 sessions with that, Seth came through vocally. I would start to know what was going to be said, and then I would start to want to speak.
Okay, I'm wondering if maybe we could, for the audience now, when you say Seth came through, maybe we could, make that Seth then. Okay, maybe the audience would know who was Seth. Perhaps some of them. Seth would be.
Well, on the board, the pointer would go over the alphabet and spell messages.
Okay.
And after a while, the messages said they came from a personality called Seth. And I didn't particularly believe in survival of personality to begin with. I also figured that if personalities survived, they had a lot better things to do than come through on Ouija boards. I thought it was from a level of my subconscious or something. The material that we got, however, was excellent. And I was enough of a critical writer myself to know the material was good. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have continued. If it didn't make sense in a philosophical way, and and it showed no extravagance in terms of going overboard religiously. It was sound psychologically as far as we could tell.
And you were not cynical at all of these things, but you did have a healthy. It comes through in the book, is what I'm trying to say. Is it comes through that you really were. I don't know how to express it, but you were. You had a healthy respect for that. You had a very fine attitude toward this experience. I don't know quite how to express it, but you were not naive, but you were still open, but you were still guarded. It was just perfect, it seems to me.
I still think we were very lucky in that we had not read an awful lot of the current occult literature. Because if I had worked board and had read a lot and perhaps believed what a lot of people believed, that this had to be either a good spirit or a bad spirit, or that this was dangerous, I really don't know what I would have done. The idea of possession never crossed my mind because I never accepted it to start with. I mean, it just didn't exist for me.
Right, okay,
Well, Jane didn't even believe in reincarnation.
You did not believe in reincarnation prior to this. But your attitude,
afterwards.
And afterwards, but now.
Well, we've modified our attitudes a little bit.
I did a program a little while ago just with some people from with the Edgar Casey people, and they said that Edgar Casey, when he was having evidences presented to him from his good Christian conscious background, evidence presented to him of reincarnation, he had a tremendous inner turmoil accepting that which seemed counter to that which he consciously had conceived within him, until he finally was able to work it out and accept it. But he had a tremendous inner conflict with that, which would be more easily acceptable to certain Eastern consciousnesses,
they would take it in stride.
But he did seem to work that out in an amicable kind of way, and I presume you have.
Well, Jane's still in the process of doing
Well, she's helping a lot of people work that out, I think, because it's an important question.